Hello everyone, welcome to another Grinder Gaming video. Today I'm going to be talking about the best Starship traits that you can get without spending Zen, without having to open your wallet. So all the Starship traits I'm going to talk about today you can buy off the exchange for EC. So if you're like me, my brother got me to start playing this game. Took him a while to get me to try it out, and I was less than impressed with the ground environments when I first started playing, but it didn't take me long to warm up to the game. Both of us had grown up watching the original series, and after seeing how beautiful some of the space environments were and seeing some of the detail that's lovingly crafted into the game in homage of the Star Trek universe was a really great feeling for me. It kind of hit on that trifecta for me: my love of sci-fi, my love for gaming, and the nostalgia of the Star Trek universe. So once I got into the game, I did like many people probably do and went and spent some money in the C-store to kit out my character and get some stuff that I thought was really good. Of course, I didn't really know what I was doing, and first starter pack I bought, I'll probably never use anything in endgame out of that, but I still like the ship, so I'm not disappointed to have it. And then of course, I started looking into what people recommended to get, and I grabbed the Arbiter for the emergency weapon cycle trait, and I'll probably use that till end game, so I'm happy I have that ship. And I bought the Geminar Vanguard warship, which is a fantastic ship. I've got tons of use out of it, so I'm sure I've had my money out of it. So yeah, I spent about $200 in the C-store, and that's probably twice as much as I spend on most other games. I might pick up a full price game for $80 and maybe some DLC. So, right off the get-go, I spent probably twice as much on this game that I would on other games. So you may notice a theme if you watch some of my other videos, that I often talk about ways to grind in the game and get around the paywalls to play to win, not pay to win. After a certain point, after spending so much money in the C-store, I want to enjoy my investment and play the game. So that's mainly what a lot of my videos are about, showing these ideas that I've come up with to play the game and get the best end game gear by playing the game, not by paying to get that stuff. So I'm going to do the same thing in this video today. We're going to talk about endgame traits that you can get. These are traits that I'm using or I am going to get, and I'm going to use them for my endgame build. So this is stuff that you can acquire off the exchange without having to spend a penny to get. You can play the game to get this stuff. If you want to know how to make lots of EC or dilithium, you can check out some of my other videos where I show how to grind out those two denominations. So I'm going to show you guys 6 different traits that you can buy for EC that I consider to be the best that you can get for various things. The first 2 are going to be traits for survival that anybody can use, any build can use those, and then the last 4 will be traits specific to beams, cannons, torpedoes, and science damage. So you'll have one for each kind of build. So the first one I'm going to show you is a trait called Honored Dead. If you're a Federation captain, you can search for Honored on the exchange and you will find this trait. You can buy it for around 20 or 30 million. If you see on the right hand side in the yellow writing, says can only be opened by members of the Federation. If you are a KDF captain, you can only get this trait from the Sarcophagus Dreadnought, which, sorry, but it's a great ship. Fed captains can't use it. Check out the next trait if you're not interested in grabbing the ship for this trait. Fed captains, 20 or 30 million, you can get one of the best traits in the game. This is an amazing trait. Every 10,000 damage that you receive is going to give you an extra 10 damage, all damage resistance. So if you're taking a lot of damage, this is going to stack up to max really quickly. And at max stack, it's going to give you plus 200 to all damage resistance, which is huge. That's 65-70% of total damage reduction. And then you'll get up to 20% hull regeneration with that as well, which is very nice. And when it's maxed, any additional stacks get added onto your health as temporary, 10,000 temporary hit points. So just with this one single trait, you can turn any ship in the game into a tanking ship. I'll throw it on a pilot escort and fly it right into the middle of all the cubes in a Hive Onslaught Elite and be able to survive in there. Maybe not indefinitely, but I can survive in there at least for some time. That's how powerful that trait is. I wish I had known about it 6 months ago. I would have bought it a long time ago. And it is by far the cheapest of all the traits we're going to look at here today. So I can't stress enough what an amazing trait that is, and at the price you can get it, you really can't go wrong as a Federation captain. Now, if you're a KDF captain, you may want to look at this one. I slot both of these currently. If you put both these traits together, you become almost unkillable in TFOs. Okay, so this next trait comes off of a ship called the Saul heavy cruiser, and all the rest of these traits come off of ships that are lobby store ships. So people post these ships for sale on the exchange, and you can buy them all for usually under 300 million. Fair price tag, but you know, a lot of people will get 300 million just from playing the game. So the Saul heavy cruiser comes with the Invincible Trait. And this trait, anytime you take damage that will kill you or you get reduced to below 5% health, you become unkillable. So as long as this trait hasn't been activated within the last 2 minutes, you can't be killed for 8 seconds if it gets activated. So for 8 seconds, you get 50% bonus healing to your shields and your hull, and you're unkillable for 8 seconds. So that gives you 8 seconds to heal yourself, to fly away, to do whatever you need to do to survive. I mean, if you combine this with the Honored Dead trait, like I said, you can do all kinds of ridiculous things in TFOs and not ever worry about dying. I almost never die in TFOs with those two traits slotted. Okay, next trait we're going to take a look at comes from the Tholian Iktomi. And this ship right now you can buy for about 300 million. There's a lobby sale on right now, so a lot of these ships are going cheaper right now than what they would, you know, when there isn't a lobby sale going on. So it's not a bad time to grab one of these ships. So this ship comes with a trait that is one of the best traits for science builds. What this trait does is whenever you use your Photonic Officer, not only does it increase the duration of your Photonic Officer ability by 10 seconds, but it also gives you a massive bonus for 30 seconds. You get 25% bonus shield and hull healing for 30 seconds, which is okay. But the really great part of it is the bonus, 25% bonus exotic damage for 30 seconds. So all your science abilities will do 25% bonus damage for 30 seconds. So big damage increase for science builds. You know, for 300 million off the exchange, you can have one of the best in slot science traits in the game. So the next trait we're going to take a look at comes off of the Sona Intel battle cruiser. This one, there's only one up on the exchange right now, but you can pick it up for 275 million. And this is not what I'd consider the best torpedo trait that you can buy with EC. That would probably be Ceaseless Momentum, but it's off a very expensive, very rare ship. So next best thing at, you know, around 300 million is this Spatial Warhead trait. What that does is every time you fire high yield or transport warhead fire mode, it causes an area of effect damage around the target that you hit. So it causes the isolytic tear, and maybe not very powerful against singular opponents, but when you're using it against crowds of enemies that are slow moving, you can deal a lot of extra damage by using this trait. So there's a nice bonus damage trait that you can pick up for your torpedo builds. Next on the list comes from the Xindi Primate, another Lobi ship. Right now there is 2 of them up on the exchange. And the trait from this ship is for your beam weapons, your beam overload builds. This is on my to buy list. This is probably going to be the next ship I'd buy for a trait. The trait that comes with this ship is Super Weapon Ingenuity, and really basically it just makes your beam overload firing mode last longer, from 10 up to 15 seconds. So the global cooldown for beam overload is 15 seconds. If you're running a proper cooldown management setup with a couple Octobat technicians, you can already get your beam overload cooldown to 15 seconds. So if you add this trait into your build, that means you can keep beam overload up 100% of the time, which is a substantial damage increase. You do a lot more damage when your beam overload is going, and increasing it from 10 to 15 seconds, you're giving a 33% increase to your duration of your beam overload, and it's going to be up 100% of the time. So like I said, that's on my to buy list. It should be for anybody who is making a beam overload build. Okay, and finally we have the Geminar Recon ship. Now you can get this trait from 2 different ships, the Recon ship or the Strike ship. They both come out of 800 million. I mean, right now on the exchange, that's pricey. There was one up there for 500 million just last week. Now, the reason for that price is that this ship, although it is in the Lobi store sometimes, it's not always in the Lobi store. So people will buy them when they're there and then trying to sell them for a lot higher when they're not there. So sometimes you can get this ship a lot cheaper. And the trait that comes with this ship is for cannon rapid fire builds. What it does is very similar to the last trait for the beams. It increases the duration of your cannons by giving an extra 3 seconds to the duration every time you get a critical hit, but it can only trigger once every 5 seconds. But you can essentially get your cannon rapid fire to last as long as the cooldown, and so that you can trigger it immediately once it wears off. So again, you can keep your cannon rapid fire going 100% of the time, which is great for single targets. Most people, if they're using cannons, they'll build towards cannon scatter volley, not cannon rapid fire for TFOs. And you can get a great rapid fire trait off the exchange, but if you want the really good Withering Barrage cannon scatter volley trait, it comes from the C-Store only, I'm afraid, right now. Alright, there you have it. 6 of the best Starship traits that you can get in the game, and you can get them all just by playing and buying them off of the exchange. I hope this helped some of you out. It took me a while to learn some of this stuff. For a long time I didn't even know that you could buy Starship traits or Starships off the exchange for their traits. Like and subscribe if it helped you out, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great one, and I will catch you in the next one.